Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the press conference of the State Council Information Office. We're about to celebrate the centenary of the CPC. The SCIO today releases the white paper on China's political party system. Here it is. Thank you. This white paper gives a comprehensive overview of the emergence, development, and continued improvement of China's political party system and its salient features. It also outlines the important gains and experience of this political party system since the 18th CPC National Congress. The white paper builds on the 2007 white paper on China's political party, also issued by the SCIO. It further reflects the new developments in the political party system and fully demonstrates the strengths of this political party system. The white paper, about 14,000 words, consists of the preamble, the main body, and the conclusion. The main body includes 9 chapters. First, China's political parties. Second, a unique political creation. Third, close cooperation between political parties. Fourth, China's political party system has distinctive characteristics and strengths. Fifth, the CPC consults with other political parties and non-affiliates. Sixth, the CPC supports other political parties and non-affiliates in conducting democratic oversight. Seventh, the CPC cooperates with other political parties and non-affiliates in governing the country. Eighth, non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates provide advice on economic and social development. Ninth, the CPPCC is an important political and organizational platform in China's political party system. The white paper is released in 8 languages, including Chinese, English, French, Russian, German, Spanish, Arabic, and Japanese. It is published by the People's Press and the Foreign Languages Press and launched at Xinhua bookstores across the nation. To give you an accurate and in-depth interpretation of China's political party system, while releasing the white paper, we are also hosting this press conference, and we have with us Mr. Xu Yousheng, Vice Minister and spokesperson of the United Front Work Department of the CPC Central Committee, Mr. Zhang Jian, spokesperson and director of the Research Office of the UFWD, Mr. Sang Fuhua, director of the Political Parties Bureau of the UFWD, and Mr. Wang Lianhai, director of the Research and Theories Bureau of the General Office of the CPPCC National Committee. They will give you a briefing and take your questions. We will now give the floor to Vice Minister Xu. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In a few days' time, we will celebrate the centenary of the CPC. In the past century of exploration and extraordinary struggle, the CPC adapted the basic tenets of Marxism to China's realities. It rallied all the forces that could be rallied, formed a broad, united front, and helped put in place China's political party system. Namely, the CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation system. This system has exhibited unique strength and strong vitality in China's political and social life. Since the 18th Party Congress, the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, focused on developing socialist democracy, achieving the two centenary goals, and the Chinese dream of national renewal. It has put forth a string of new concepts, ideas, and strategies for developing and improving China's political party system, and made a string of major decisions on this matter. It has been enhancing political party consultation, strengthening participation of non-CPC parties in the political life, and improving democratic oversight, allowing the political party system to play an important role in advancing the state governance system and in modernizing the governance capacity. China's political party system is rooted in the fine Chinese tradition and culture, and nourished by China's democratic revolution since the modern times. It took shape in the consultation in preparation for the founding of the PRC, further developed in the great process of socialist revolution, development, and reform, and was improved in the new era of socialism with Chinese characteristics. It is a great political creation by the CPC, the Chinese people, the other political parties, and non-affiliates. The white paper pointed out that China's political party system emerged from the Chinese soil and is the result of China's time-honored history, culture, tradition, and economic and social development. Under the socialist system with Chinese characteristics, collective matters should be addressed through collective consultation to find the largest common denominator of the aspirations of the whole society. This is what people's democracy is all about. The white paper emphasized that China's political party system is defined by the spirit of cooperation, participation, and consultation, and is in essence about unity, democracy, and harmony. It has such important functions as political participation, express of interests, social integration, democratic oversight, and maintenance of stability. It represents extensive interests and the unity in fighting for the same goals. It facilitates scientific decision-making and ensures effective state governance. It is an important way to achieve the running of the country by the people and an important institutional vehicle of socialist consultative democracy. In the struggle for national independence, liberation, prosperity, and happiness for the people, the CPC and other political parties have worked together through trials and tribulations and established a political party relationship featuring cooperation, unity, and harmony. In this political framework, the CPC is the core of socialism with Chinese characteristics. This is established and reinforced through China's revolution, development, and reform. It is the choice of history and people. The other political parties are close friends that accept the CPC's leadership and cooperate with the CPC. The socialist participatory parties with Chinese characteristics who participate in the political life, exercise democratic oversight, and participate in the political consultation under the leadership of the CPC. The non-affiliates are important forces in China's political life. They exercise their functions like other political parties. The CPPCC is an important political and organizational platform for implementing China's political party system. And for other political parties and non-affiliates to participate in political consultation, democratic oversight, and administration of state affairs. The white paper has elaborated on the content, form, safeguards, and success of how the non-CPC parties and non-affiliates fulfill their three major functions. It is the best guide to the strengths of China's political party system, and it puts forth China's proposals for the development of political parties around the world. After more than 7 decades of development, China's political party system has become increasingly mature, but China will not stop exploring the way forward. The white paper declares solemnly to the world that China will continue to draw on the fruits of human political civilization, but will never copy other countries' political party system or model, nor will it impose China's political party system or model on other countries. China respects the choice of political party systems by other countries in light of their national conditions. It will, in a spirit of equality and mutual respect, step up exchanges and mutual learning, promote development of the world's democratic and political systems, and work for a community with a shared future for mankind. Now, my colleagues and I are ready to take your questions. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Minister Xi. Now the floor is open. Please identify yourself and your media associates before raising the question. Thank you, with China Media Group.
Some countries adopt multi-party systems, some bi-party systems, and some single-party system. But China adopts a system of CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation system. So what kind of system it is? What strengths does it have? Oh, thank you for your question. I'll take this one. The political party system is an important means to realize modern democracy and an important part of a country's political system. A country's political party system is determined by its history and reality. There are different kinds of political party systems in the world, and there is no and will be no model that suits all countries. China adopts a political party system of CPC leadership and multi-party cooperation and political consultation. This is based on China's conditions. Its basic features are CPC leadership, multi-party cooperation, CPC governance, and participation in state affairs of other parties. The CPC is the governing party and the leadership core of socialism with Chinese characteristics. The 8 other political parties are under the leadership of the CPC and work closely with the CPC. They are political parties of socialism with Chinese characteristics that participate in state affairs. They are advisors, aides, and colleagues of the CPC. In China, there is no opposition party or so-called non-governing party. In such a system, the governing party and other parties work closely together through thick and thin and follow the principle of long-term coexistence, mutual oversight, sincerity, and sharing the rough times and the smooth. China's political party system has 2 strengths. First, it represents the fundamental interests of all the people in a real, extensive, and lasting manner, and pull suggestions from different sides and ensure the scientific and democratic decision-making. It can avoid representing only the interests of certain parties, classes, regions, or groups, and avoid objection for objection's sake, which leads to indecision and social division. Second, it rallies all political parties and non-affiliates to strive for the same goal of great national renewal. It can effectively avoid the lack of supervision in a single-party system or unhealthy competition in a multi-party system. China's political party system has provided a Chinese proposal for the world's political party systems, and this is a contribution to human political civilization. The master designer of China's reform and opening up, Mr. Deng Xiaoping, once said, "It doesn't matter if it is a white cat or black cat, as long as it catches mice." China's notable achievements over the past 70-plus years have shown that China's political system is a good cat that is best at catching mice. Thank you. Next question, please. Cover news. Since the 18th CPC Congress, what new progress has been made in China's political party system? To be more specific, what are the new measures and highlights? I will turn this one to Mr. Zhang Jian. Thank you. Since the 18th CPC Congress, to uphold and improve socialism with Chinese characteristics, the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has strengthened the top-level design for China's political party system and made new theoretical, policy, and practical explorations on theoretical explorations, upholding and improving the CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation system has been included in the CPC's governance policy. It has been made clear that this political party system is China's political party system. Non-CPC parties are parties of socialism with Chinese characteristics that participate in state affairs, and their basic functions are participating in state affairs, democratic oversight, and political consultation led by the CPC. These explorations has provided the theoretical foundation for multi-party cooperation. On policy exploration, the CPC Central Committee, in order to advance socialist consultative democracy, strengthen the work of the People's Political Consultative Conference, and support other political parties in participating in state affairs, the Central Committee has formulated a number of important documents providing policy support for multi-party cooperation. On practical explorations, let me share with you 3 points. First, political consultation. Since the 18th Party Congress, political consultation has become more organized. The CPC Central Committee and the State Council convened or entrusted relevant departments to convene 172 consultative meetings or workshops, and 37 of them were chaired by General Secretary Xi Jinping. He discussed matters of strategic, overall importance with non-CPC members. Second, participating in state affairs. Their participation has become more practical and targeted. Since the 18th Party Congress, non-CPC parties and non-affiliates have on the new development philosophy, the new development paradigm, high-quality development, Belt and Road Initiative, coordinated development of Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei, integrated development of the Yangtze River Delta, and the Greater Bay Area. They have raised many important suggestions and views, and there are over 730 pieces of them. And many of them has been accepted by the party and the government, contributing to scientific and democratic decision-making. And third, democratic oversight has broken new ground. Entrusted by the CPC Central Committee, since 2016, the 8 non-CPC parties have paired up with 8 central and western provinces, providing democratic oversight for poverty alleviation for 5 years, and contributed actively to winning the battle against poverty. Move forward, entrusted by the CPC Central Committee, non-CPC parties and non-affiliates will also carry out democratic oversight on ecological conservation of the Yangtze River Delta. Thank you. Next question, please.
Thank you. With China News Agency, we know that political party consultation is an important part of China's political party system. What are the content and forms of political party consultation, and in practice, how does that work? Well, I'll give the floor to Mr. Sang. Thank you for the question, and thank you for your interest in political party consultation and the political party system. Well, according to the white paper, political party consultation is an important form of democracy where the CPC and other political parties, based on the same political objectives, have direct political consultation on the major policies and affairs of the party and the state before the decision-making and during the enforcement. Non-affiliates also participate in the political party consultation, and that is the definition of political party consultation according to the white paper. Such consultation, with its clearly defined content, fully fledged system, has become a prominent feature in China's political life. And you asked about the content and format of political party consultation. Well, that has been covered in the white paper in detail. Well, since you just got the white paper, let me just give you a brief overview. Political party consultation mainly covers 4 aspects. First, the formulation and revisions of important papers at the meetings of the CPC and other political parties. Second, suggestions on the formulation and revisions of the Constitution and other laws and regulations. Third, proposed candidates for state leadership. And fourth, major issues related to united front work and multi-party cooperation. And these 4 aspects involve the major issues in the administration of state affairs in China. As for the forms, there are 3 forms of political party consultation identified in the white paper, including consultation through meetings and seminars on various subjects and issues. There is also consultation through talks, where CPC officials and those from non-CPC parties will have face-to-face talks to exchange views. And the third form is consultation in writing. Namely, the CPC Central Committee will ask for written recommendations and comments from non-CPC parties, which can also submit their suggestions in writing. As for how that works in practice, I think maybe that is not something other people are very familiar with, so I really thank you for raising this question, for me to have this opportunity to share with you how that works in practice. Let's take meetings at the central level as an example. Well, there are mainly 4 steps involved. The first step is to make the plan. On the basis of the extensive views and opinions of the central committees of other political parties and non-affiliates, an annual political party consultation plan will be put in place and enforced after deliberation by the Standing Committee of CPC Political Bureau. The second step is to prepare for the consultation. Namely, the relevant authorities will assist the CPC Secretariat to formulate the specific plans and enforce the plans according to the general consultation plan. For example, the relevant authorities will invite heads of non-CPC parties to read the documents that will be put under consultation, and we would invite members of the drafting committee to make explanations, and we would also invite relevant officials to brief the non-CPC parties and non-affiliates on economic and social development. We would also support their studies on certain major issues and to have field trips to learn about the situation on the ground so that they can provide more practical recommendations on relevant decision-making. And the third major step is to have the consultation and the meetings. At least 7 meetings will be held at the central level every year, at least 4 of which will be chaired by General Secretary Xi Jinping. 1 will be chaired by Premier Li Keqiang and 2 by Chairman Wang Yang. In addition, there might be other additional meetings, depending on the need. During the meeting, representatives of the CPC Central Committee would usually introduce the subjects for consultation, on which representatives of the central committees of other political parties and the non-affiliates will make their comments and have exchanges and discussions. The 4th major step is to respond to the comments and suggestions. The comments and suggestions will be handed over by the Secretariat of the CPC Central Committee and the United Framework Department to relevant authorities, which will act on those comments and recommendations in a time-limited manner and provide explanations for those that cannot be acted upon. Some of the recommendations are good but may not be able to be enforced given the circumstances, and some need further studies to be improved. Anyway, there must be explanations if the recommendations cannot be enforced. So these are my answers to your question. I hope it would help you gain a better understanding of political party consultation. Thank you. Next question, please. Thank you. With Hongxin News. As an important political and organizational platform for implementing China's political party system, what are the features of the CPPCC and what are the institutional arrangements for the CPPCC non-CPC members to make comments and recommendations? I'll give the floor to Director Wang on this question. Thank you for your interest in the work of the CPPCC. The CPPCC is an important institution for multi-party cooperation and political consultation under the leadership of the CPC. It has very salient features in its organization. Other political parties and non-affiliates represent quite a big percentage at all levels of CPPCC. At least 60% of the CPPCC members and 65% of the Standing Committee members should be non-CPC members. No less than 50% of the Vice Chairman of the CPPCC leadership, excluding ethnic minority regions, should be non-CPC members. At the first session of the 13th CPPCC in 2018, 1,299 CPPCC members are non-CPC members, accounting for 60.2% of all the members. 195 non-CPC members serve at the Standing Committee, accounting for 55% of all the Standing Committee members, and 13 Vice Chairmen of the CPPCC National Committee are non-CPC members, accounting for 54.2% of all the Vice Chairmen. And among all the CPPCC organizations, over 410,000 non-CPC members serve as CPPCC members. At the CPPCC national and provincial committees, there are non-CPC members serving as special deputy secretary generals, and non-CPC representatives also account for a certain proportion among the directors, deputy directors, and members of special CPPCC committees. We respect and ensure the rights of non-CPC members in making comments and putting forth proposals at the CPPCC. And General Secretary Xi at the Central CPPCC Work Conference pointed out that we need to leverage the role of the CPPCC as an important political and organizational platform for the political party system and make institutional arrangements for the non-CPC members to play their role. And we have been honestly implementing the spirit of the important remarks by General Secretary Xi and the directions of the CPC Central Committee. We will fully improve the mechanism of the strengths of China's political party system and make institutional arrangements in the CPPCC working rules, the general rules of the special committees, the methods for selecting and handling proposals for the non-CPC members to put forth proposals, making comments and speaking on relevant public opinion in their party's own name. We have also set up relevant channels and mechanisms for them to voice their views. Since 2013, the non-CPC parties have submitted nearly 3,000 proposals, made 525 interventions at sessions, and made spoken remarks, 81 spoken remarks. They have thus made positive contribution to leveraging the strength of China's political party system, advancing political party relations, and contributing to the development of the nation in the new era.
With Beijing youth, I want to ask about non-CPC members and what role has they played in China's political party system.
Give the floor to Director Zhang Jian. Well, on non-affiliates, many people may not understand what exactly they are. They are not sure what kind of people count as non-affiliates. Whether anyone with no political party can be seen as non-affiliates. And last year, the CPPCC rolled out a regulation on United Work Front work, which defined non-affiliates as personages with no political party affiliation, but with the will to participate in the administration of state affairs, who have contributed positively to the society. They mainly include intellectuals, and that is the definition of non-affiliates. How should we understand this concept? Well, this is a political concept and a political identity, because they are an important part of multi-party cooperation. They have an important role to play. And it's not like all people with no political party affiliation are non-affiliates. They must play an important role and exercise important functions, like those of non-CPC members, namely political consultation, democratic oversight, and participation in the administration of state affairs. And non-affiliates have played an important role in China's political party system. They are the joint contributors and important participants in this system. For example, the very renowned Mr. Guo Moruo, who participated in the Cultural War of Resistance, Mr. Li Dingming, who proposed streamlining the military, Mr. Ba Jing, who was known as the People's Writer, and also Mr. Yuan Longping, the father of hybrid rice, who just passed away. They're all famous non-affiliates. And some of them have played an important role in the revolution, development, and reform of our nation, and some of them also made an important contribution to developing China's political party system. And since the 18th Party Congress, we have valued and supported the role of non-affiliates with a number of new measures. For example, the CPC Central Committee and the State Council have held relevant consultative meetings where non-affiliates will always be invited. Thank you. With China Daily, because the political party system includes non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates, then as an important part of the political party system, what kind of role do the non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates play in China's economic and social life? Thank you for your question, and thank you for your interest in the role of the non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates. Well, over the years, the non-CPC political parties and the non-affiliates have fully leveraged their strengths in pooling talents and enjoying extensive contacts. They have made an important contribution to China's economic and social development, which are well elaborated in the white paper, and I will give you a brief overview here. The contributions they have made include three aspects. First is they have contributed ideas and recommendations to improve decision-making. Over the years, they have conducted studies and field trips and put forth recommendations on the major issues of overriding and strategic importance in China's political, social, economic, and cultural life. For example, on Belt and Road Initiative, the coordinated development of Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei Province, the Greater Bay Area development, the Yangtze River Economic Belt. On all these initiatives and major strategies, they have put forth some very significant recommendations, which contributed to the decision-making by the CPC Central Committee and the State Council. Second, they have also played their role in serving the society. The non-CPC political parties and the non-affiliates have participated actively in a number of social welfare and public good activities and participated in poverty alleviation efforts and disaster rescue efforts, etc. For years, for example, the non-political parties and non-affiliates have actively taken part in the Bijie, a place in Guizhou, a Bijie pilot zone. And they have made an important contribution to fighting poverty in this pilot zone. The non-CPC political parties and the non-affiliates over the years have invested over 120 billion yuan in Bijie pilot zone and helped coordinated over 2,000 relevant projects, helped train 329,000 professionals and helped build and expand more than 200 schools and built over 235 clinics at the county and village level. Thanks to their joint efforts, 6.3 million people, 1,981 poverty villages, and 7 state-level impoverished counties have all been lifted out of poverty. And all these are concrete efforts made by the non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates. And they have worked with the governing party to help address poverty in the underdeveloped parts of China, and this is only possible under China's unique political party system. And the third role they play is to respond to the major challenges. For example, back in 2003, when SARS broke out, the non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates sprang into action, made a lot of donations and recommendations. Many of them are working at the very front line. And in less than a month after the 2008 Wenchuan earthquake, members of non-CPC political parties made over 500 million yuan of donations, which won them a lot of praise from across the society. And last year, in the face of the sudden onslaught of COVID-19, the non-CPC political parties and the non-affiliates immediately responded to the call of the CPC Central Committee and stood and worked together with the Communist Party of China. And statistics show that over 60,000 non-CPC medical and health workers are working on the front line. The non-CPC political parties and the non-affiliates have also submitted about 4,000 recommendations and comments to the CPC Central Committee, the State Council, and the relevant departments, many of which have been translated into concrete policies. They've also made a lot of contributions and donations worth over 5 billion RMB. And with their concrete efforts, they have proved that they are indeed good counsel, good friends, and good partner of the CPC. So we applaud their efforts and their contribution to the political party system.
谢谢，我是香港中评社的记者。你们经常说民主党派是中国新型政党制度的组成部分。
You also say that other political parties are an important part of China's political party system, but why do they need to accept the leadership of the CPC? An important feature of China's political party system is the CPC leadership. So why do other parties need to accept the leadership of the CPC? It is because of the actual needs and the choice of history. As for the actual needs, China is a large country with different ethnicities, and we have a population of over 1.4 billion. China's history has shown that in such a big country, if without a leadership core that coordinates different sides, it will lead to division, and we will never be successful in any endeavor. The CPC leadership is the defining feature of socialism with Chinese characteristics. because in its 100 years of hard work, the CPC has rallied other political parties and the whole nation. From the founding of the CPC to the founding of the People's Republic and to the reform and opening up, the CPC has made glorious achievements that made the Chinese nation proud. And the Chinese nation has had the historic leap from standing up to getting rich to getting stronger. And the CPC, in doing so, has won the sincere support of all the Chinese people, including other political parties. The CPC leadership does not come by itself, but a choice of the history and by the people, and the choice of other political parties. Still recall that Mr. Chen Siwei once said that China's political party system is like a chorus. Which needs a conductor. History and reality has shown that only the CPC can play the role as the conductor. I think what he said is really what he meant. I want to note here that the CPC leadership of other political parties is a political leadership. That's the leadership of the political principle, political direction, and major policies. The CPC respects other political parties' role in participating in state affairs. They have their own charters, guidelines, and organizational frameworks. Within the constitution and legal framework, they have performed their functions independently. Thank you. Last question, please. With Xinhua News Agency, over the past 7 decades, what are the good experiences to draw on in terms of the unity and cooperation between the CPC and other political parties? Since China's political party system was established over 7 decades ago, the CPC and other political parties has had many good experiences in our unity and cooperation, which can be summarized by the following. First, uphold CPC leadership. This is the basic guarantee of the sound development of multi-party cooperation. CPC leadership is the defining feature of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and the most distinctive character of China's political party system. As I've said, CPC leadership is a choice of the history, a choice by the people, and a choice by other political parties. Only by firmly upholding CPC leadership can multi-party cooperation continue to develop toward the right direction. Second, uphold and improve socialism with Chinese characteristics. This is the common political foundation for the sound development of multi-party cooperation. Multi-party cooperation came into being because of consensus and has developed because of consensus. History and reality has shown that only socialism can save China, and only socialism with Chinese characteristics can develop China and realize the Chinese dream of great national renewal. This is a common aspiration and a common cause of the CPC and other political parties. Third, steadily advance institutional building. This is an important underpinning for the sound development of multi-party cooperation. Institutions enjoy long-term stability. In our practices and explorations over the years, we have put in place a quite comprehensive set of theories and institutions. This set of institutions is based on the Constitution. It follows the rules and regulations of the CPC and the consensus documents with other political parties. It puts multi-party cooperation into a comprehensive and systemic framework. Mr. Sang just shared with us many regulations in political party cooperation. With these institutions, it will help to improve the standards and institutions of multi-party cooperation and increase the institutional efficiency of multi-party cooperation. Fourth, strengthen the party building of the CPC and other political parties. This is the organization basis of the sound development of multi-party cooperation. The CPC and other political parties are main participants of China's multi-party cooperation system. To better harness the strength and role of this system, it is not only important to strengthen party building of the governing party, but also other political parties. Only through mutual learning and joint development in party building can we improve the quality of multi-party cooperation. Thank you. We've come to the end of this press conference. Thank you all.